Jason Earnhardt at Levels for Guitar, and I'm excited to begin this new playlist where the main focus is teaching you how to play lead guitar. And this is for those of you who are mid-beginner and you're just now learning your pentatonic scales. So you just started learning your Form I pentatonic scale, and your guitar instructor has you running up and down the scale, and it's more of an exercise to you at this point. So you're probably wondering, what am I supposed to do with this scale? And so how far I get in this series has everything to do with your participation. So here's how it's going to work. I'm going to produce this video, which will include Form I A-Minor Pentatonic and a backing track, which will involve swing rhythm. So we're going to learn how to play the pentatonic scale plus swing rhythm. If you're going to play blues, you got to be able to swing. We can't do anything unless you establish the rhythm with your scale. And when you accomplish this, not if you like the video, but if you accomplish this video, then I want you to give me a thumbs up and comment below that you accomplished it. And if I get 25 of those, then I'll produce the next video, and there I'll add the next feature set. So I'm going to keep this simple. I'm not going to bog you down with fancy playing. We're just going to focus this video on the pentatonic scale plus the swing rhythm. Okay, well, tune up your guitars, and we're going to get started by learning Form I A-Minor Pentatonic. We're going to begin with a review and warm-up using the A-Minor Pentatonic scale Form I. And the chart is on the video, and you should be able to play 4 repetitions at about this tempo. Do that for 4 repetitions. This is straight rhythm. We're not getting to the swing just yet. If you have trouble playing at that tempo, or if the chart makes no sense, or the technique is just too difficult, you can look up how to play guitar basics in one of my playlists. There I've got an entire video on this pentatonic scale. It's one of the last videos. And then if you can't play any of these techniques, then you might want to review some of the earlier videos in that playlist to get you up to speed. But we can't move forward until we can at least play the scale at a manageable tempo. Next, we're going to apply the swing rhythm to the Form I A-Minor Pentatonic scale. Long, short, long, short, long, short, long. And that lopsided fill has to do with the way we treat the triplet. A triplet is 3 equidistant sounds within the count. Trip-bol-lit, 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 trip. So if we take the triplet and we leave out that pull sound or that middle sound, we end up with the swing. Trip, let, trip, let, trip, let, trip. So we're just extending the first sound through the second sound, and then we have another independent third sound. Trip, let, trip, let, trip, let, trip. Or you can say long, short, long, short, long, short, long. Or if you count, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And we're just applying that to our pentatonic scale. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and trip, let, trip, let, trip, let, trip, let, long, short, long, short, long, short, long. And that there is the swing. Now it's time to have some fun. So we're going to apply the swing rhythm to this blues backing track. If you try to apply a straight rhythm to this blues backing track, it's not going to match. Now, there are blues out there that use a straight rhythm. There's plenty of that. But this backing track requires the swing rhythm to work. So I hope I made that clear. I'm going to work with you first by just playing up and down the scale to get you used to playing the swing over this track. And then afterwards, you can start improvising or playing whatever notes you want to play within the scale using this rhythm. And then finally, I'm going to get out of the way and let the backing track run on its own so that you can practice along with it. Remember, if this is too fast, you can always slow me down on the media player and then build up your speed that way. One final thing is your theory teacher or your guitar instructor probably hasn't gone over key centers yet. But I'm just going to give you a very general rule. This backing track is in key of A, so the primary chord is this A or this A shuffle. But it'll say on the backing track in A. And since you're using an A minor pentatonic scale, it's going to harmonize with that backing track. So you have to harmonize using the same scale with the same chord progression or the same key. Now, if this said backing track in G, then you would want to move that first finger to the G note and play that pattern. So you have to match your scale with the backing track for it to work. That's how they play lead guitar. They just match their scale with the key of that scale. Okay, let's get to work. First, we need to establish the count. And there's one of three ways we can do this. If you're pretty good at finding count 1, you can simply count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 along with the track. If you can't, then you can use long, short, long, short, long, short, long, or you can use the triplet. Trip, let, trip, let, trip, let, trip. Whichever one helps you to find that beat. And you want to do that with your voice only in the beginning, so let's demonstrate that real quick. You can start anywhere in the track that you want. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And if you're pretty good at finding count 1, you can do it that way. Otherwise, you can use this method. Long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short. Or you can use the triplet. Trip, let, trip, let, trip, let, trip, let, trip, let, trip, let, trip. So it's got that lopsided swing fill. You want to do that with your voice before playing it on the guitar. Next, we're going to fire up the backing track, and then we're going to play that A minor pentatonic scale all the way up and down for at least 4 repetitions. You can play it as many times as you want, but the goal is to maintain that swing. Now, if you get lost within the track, you stop playing, begin counting, and once you've reestablished the count, then you play along with the count. So to demonstrate, let me fire this up. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and long, short, long, short, long, short, long, short, trip, let, trip, let, trip, let, trip. So if you can do 4 repetitions or more, that would be optimal. And once you've established that, then you can begin working on improvisation. Next, we're going to focus on the improvisation. This is where you get to put your own creative spin to this pentatonic scale. I am going to restrict you to the scale, Form I pentatonic, and the swing rhythm. No hammer-ons, pull-offs, nothing fancy like that. We're just going to focus on that rhythm. And you can hold a note out for longer than the swing. So if you want to hold the note or go silent for a while and then reestablish the swing, that's okay. I just don't want you playing any faster than the swing. So I'm going to fire up this backing track and I'm going to do my own improvisation. Now, this isn't going to sound like the greatest solo in the world, but I can do some things with this, and hopefully you can too. And 4, and 1, and 2, and 3, 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 and 4, and 1, and 2. long, short, long, short, long, and so on. So I was able to keep that beat going, but I was able to play the notes that I wanted to play within that scale. Excellent work. You now have the tools that you need for this blues backing track. I've supplied a backing track at the end of this video, and if it's too fast, you can always slow it down on the media player. Okay, remember, I need those 25 likes. It's just showing me that you're interested in the next step following this video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon.